This is absolutely costing me money. Starting to second guess if moving out of my shop was the right choice or the wrong choice, because right now we got our first decent snow of the winter and I can't work on anything. Pretty tough choices to make. For now, I guess I'll just walk around and give you guys updates on all the cars. The Cadillac has been really slow going. I've never made patch panels for cars before. I did get the metal for the bottom of the window done, but I don't have the right size feed rollers for my welder because I want to use an 025 wire on my MIG welder. This is so pitted and rusty that when I did this patch panel here, I started blowing through and just making more of a mess for myself to try and fill in. And that was 035 wire. So that's just the diameter of the filler wire that comes out of the MIG gun. So 025 is a little bit thinner, so less heat. I think that'll really help out, so I don't end up just chasing my tail. That paint stripper tool, the abrasive wheel, it eats through this paint really fast, and it's doing a kick-ass job. So you can see all the different layers of sealer and paint and Bondo and paint and paint and paint. But it gets it down to bare metal really fast. And I did find corners, but I don't think it's the whole thing. I think they stop like here, and they're like 300 bucks. So I am looking for just some complete front fenders. I'm gonna try to get to some junkyards and find something. I also need the corners for the rear as well. It's gonna be interesting when I get this thing all stripped down because there's so much paint and Bondo. It was kind of a half-ass restoration done on this car, and I have no idea what I'm really getting myself into, but that's all right. It's a learning process, and I'm just trying to have fun with it. The orange 49, you guys absolutely loved this truck, which makes me very happy. I got it running. I swapped out the rear end, and I got to the brakes, and what I found out pretty quick is that Studebaker didn't make their brakes the same as everybody else. So there is no interchange with brake shoes and drums and all the stuff that I need. There are conversion kits that people have made to where you can put Chevy brakes on these trucks. You can convert the drums up front to disc. There's kits for power brakes. There's all kinds of stuff out there, but they're expensive. They're one-off, custom-made deals. And when I priced out the front brakes, I want to say it was about 700 bucks. And we still got to do the rear. And if you convert drum brakes to disc brakes and you're still running drums out back, you actually have to run a different master cylinder or a proportioning valve because it's different pressures for disc and drum. This thing is kind of on hold at the moment, and I think I have a pretty cool solution for not only the brakes but a couple other issues. The rat rod, that's sitting on a 2006 GMC Canyon chassis. It would be a much faster process to put this truck, even if I use the engine and transmission, everything that's in it, and just adapt it to the newer chassis with the newer running gear. But then what am I going to do with So with the rat rod, I'm thinking about a new chassis, and it's going to solve a lot of building issues very quickly. I think I'm going to be much happier in the long run. It'll make the build go by faster. Knock on wood. That's the Cadillac, the orange truck, and the rat rod. And I've got 3 more out front to show you. So let's go look at them. Truck. I do have a little maintenance video to show you guys where I had to do the front brakes, and I ended up buying U-joints and a carrier bearing, but I just didn't have time to put it in, and I don't have a ton of time right now to do this kind of stuff, just because I'm actually in school. I go to college full-time. The semester for fall actually just ended, so I'm gonna have more time on my hands to do work. But now we're in winter, and it's tough. There's always hurdles. All right, so we've got the SC400. The transmission started slipping in this. I was gonna do a CDO9 swap. I kind of went into this whole drift car build not really doing my homework beforehand. A buddy of mine had this car, sold it to me, made me a great deal, and then I'm like, hey, this is automatic, I need a manual trans. And he goes, buy a CDO9. Everyone does that swap. If you don't know, the CDO9 is a 6-speed manual transmission that comes in a Nissan 350Z. This is a Lexus. It's a Toyota car. So obviously there's some custom modification that has to be done. Well, the swap's been done so many times that companies have come out with complete kits. I don't want to say plug and play because that's kind of a dangerous term, but it makes the swap super easy. But with ease comes cost. So all the swap kits that I found for the Nissan transmission into a Lexus, it was like $4,000. I don't really... If you guys have seen drifting, I mean, there's a good chance you're gonna slide into another car, into a wall, especially when you're first starting out. I've never done it before, so I don't know that I really want to spend that much money. So what I did was I got rid of that transmission, and I have another option right here. And that's another car. This is a running, driving 1989 Toyota Cressida, and this car actually used to belong to me like 4 years ago. It's been kind of sold around my little friend group and eventually made its way back to me. But I was actually able to get rid of the CDO9, get this car back, and this car came with 2 W series transmissions, which are Toyota products, Toyota transmissions, 5-speed manuals. So I've got a manual transmission for this car and a manual transmission for this car. The nice thing about it is the W series transmission, the bell housing unbolts. With that CDO9 transmission, it's a stout unit, but the housing's all one piece. The bell housing doesn't come off of the body. So I can make my own adapter plate to use the factory bell housing that came on the automatic transmission here, and just make a little mid plate that bolts the manual transmission on there. So I have another project. Just what I need, but it solved a problem here. So, you know, I'm never one to turn down a car. Oh, I have a problem. So the last one is my 2007 Yukon. It's a Denali. I absolutely loved this thing. Loved, past tense. when it was stock. It's not stock anymore. I put a different exhaust on it. It's loud. I airbagged it. That's what got my start on YouTube. If you haven't checked out those videos, they're very cringeworthy, terrible editing, but go check them out if you want to. They're great vehicles. I love GM SUVs and trucks. They're probably my favorite. Yeah, I feel like I kind of ruined this one. There's a certain look with airbags that I didn't think about when I was building this thing, and you have to do a lot more than just take your springs out and put an airbag in. The Yukon's just, it's too much right now, so we're going to be getting rid of it. So there's the update on the cars. Just keep dragging more junk home, basically. I'm hoping that I can get a carport or some sort of structure set up in the backyard. That way I got a nice covered area to work in, even if it's not insulated, you know. As long as I'm not getting snowed on or rained on, should be pretty okay. But yeah, I'm kind of regretting getting rid of my shop right now. But that was a problem in and of itself, because I was paying all that money to rent the shop and then I didn't have any money to put into the cars. Yeah, that car trailer, I love having a trailer. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's just a guy thing, but having a trailer makes you feel complete. There's just so much you could do with it. I've moved with it. I've brought home cars. I've hauled a bunch of dead trees out of here. I don't know. I've done much with it. But anyways, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Let me know what you're working on. Let me know where you're at. Is it snowing where you are? Is it icy? Is it crappy outside? Are you working outside? Let me know. Later.